These 6 terrifying crocodile encounters could honestly make you jump right out of your seat. Number 6. A man peacefully kayaking in North Carolina was the unfortunate target of a hungry and territorial alligator. Not expecting much to happen, he seems to be having a good time paddling around the remote river. At some point though, he hears something nearby that leads him to stop right in his tracks. Although weird, he doesn't think much of it and simply decides to continue on his adventure. What happens next will most likely shock you. Now full of adrenaline, he thankfully manages to flip the kayak in time and takes a few seconds to catch his breath. Definitely not wanting to risk his life again, he quickly turns his boat around and immediately paddles away as fast as he can. Number 5. While tarpon fishing on a beautiful day in Florida, a man quickly backed away from the water after spotting the head of a huge alligator coming straight towards him.
Jesus Christ. Gotta be careful here.
Trying to avoid becoming this predator's dinner, he immediately runs backward on the trail. After luckily picking himself back up on time, he proceeds to try to scare the animal away, but it unfortunately doesn't work out too well.
Get back.
Contrary to what most would do, he goes back to see the alligator, but it thankfully already gave up on its hopes for dinner and began walking away. This could have easily been this man's last day on Earth. Number 4. The clip starts off with a night view of a man and a woman enjoying a swim in the pool. A few moments later, an alligator is seen suddenly entering the pool, startling the people in the water and forcing them out. After several seconds of trying to get away from the predator, they both managed to safely get out of the water, and you thought pool parties were safe. Number 3. An Australian man was out with some friends near a remote river in hopes to have some fun. Having tied a rope to a tree branch, he gets ready to swing himself into the seemingly safe waters. What happens next might shock you. The crocodile thankfully missed its bites. Now under shock, the man immediately swims back to shore and gets out of the water as fast as he can. Number 2. Crocodiles can be some of the most daunting creatures to exist, and this video goes a long way in proving that. Published in May of 2016, this scary clip begins with a gigantic crocodile approaching a man holding a piece of fish in his hands. The The tourists aboard watch on in shock as their tour guide now starts feeding the enormous animal from a rather dangerous distance.
Hurry up, the tail. You heard that? 2,000 pounds. Look at the teeth.
After several moments, the tour guide decides to say goodbye to his friend and finally joins his tourists back on the boat. Now that's what I call a daredevil. Number 1. A group of tourists on a boat had their tour guide attempt to feed some hungry crocodiles when the unimaginable happened. After spotting the predators from the other side of the river, they decide to get a closer look and park the boat on the shore. Contrary to what most would do, the tour guide jumps in the water with a piece of chicken in his hands and tries to provoke the crocodiles to come closer.
Yeah, I got this.
He finally gets their attention and proceeds to bravely feed them from up close, while the terrified tourists are forced to watch.
Wow, that's loud.
Now fearing for his safety, he jumps back on the boat, but still tries to continue the show. Unfortunately, the lady recording isn't at all ready for what's about to happen.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
Feeling like they've seen enough, the group decides to start up the boat again and leave the crocodiles alone before anyone gets hurt. Thanks for watching until the end. Check out these other videos you might also like.